YouTube? This is Cover 2 Credits, and today we're going to be doing Awaken Online by Travis Bagwell. The second book in the series just came out, I want to say, this month? I think it was 2 weeks ago, but I'm not 100% on that. Anyway, second book, Precipice, just came out. I just finished it, so we'll do a review and sort of go through the first two books, a little overview, trying to leave out as many spoilers as possible by giving you the basic rundown of what's happening. I like this series because the author, he uses a lot of the main lit RPG tropes, but he also avoids a lot of them, so you get sort of a mixed bag in terms of originality, and I think he does a good job with a lot of that. So the story has sort of the classic lit RPG start. Main character, high school kid, nerdy, sort of beaten down by life, pushover, everyone sort of does whatever they want to him. He runs into the school bully early in it because he has the attentions of a hot girl. Like I said, classic start. Anyway, but things get a little dark from there. Basically what happens is the bully has a drunken picture of this hot girl that likes, well, doesn't really like him, but at least pays attention to the main character. So he uses that to blackmail the girl into accusing the main character of rape and getting him expelled from school. So that's sort of how it starts. He gets expelled from school. He logs into this game. He's super just pissed off at the world. His parents are really mad at him. Everything's going to crap in his life. He logs into the game, and there he runs into the Dark God. Now, each of the affinities in the story, basically, each of the affinities represents a particular mental sort of attribute. So, like, dark isn't really evil and light isn't really good. Instead, I think it's light is, like, confidence and dark is, pleasure. Or it's about seizing what you want in life and doing whatever you want. It's about, like, dark magic's about self-fulfillment. So, anyway, he logs into the game and you go through this, like, mental trial, basically, to test your affinities. Well, anyway, in the trial, since the main character has just had, like, a really awful day, got kicked out of school, all this terrible stuff's happened to him, he just goes nuts and ends up killing this lady in his, like, his mental stability trial, basically. But by doing so, he attracts the attention of, like, the dark deity of the game. And he sort of starts from there. And as it goes through, the character starts to become more and more and more, like, aggressive and killing people and doing crazy stuff, but it's not, he doesn't do it mindlessly, and he doesn't torture people for fun, and he avoids a lot of the, like, really, really evil behaviors in the game because he just does whatever he wants. And it's all about self-interest and him about, like, basically growing a pair. And it's his transition throughout the story, especially the first book, I think is really well done. And it sort of goes through his mental processes, and it's a lot of psychological stuff going on. Especially through the first book, and as he's doing his first couple of missions and selecting his class, and all of that stuff. And like I said, it does a really good job of the game is pushing him and pushing him and pushing him. And then as the story develops, you find out that, especially in the second book, you find out that the game is pushing him on purpose because the game's directive is that players need to have fun while they're in the game. So in order to facilitate fun for all the good players, the game needs to create itself an evil player, and that's sort of what's happening in here, is the game is sort of grooming him to be this evil overlord, while also, you know, giving him more, I guess, self-confidence in what he's doing in his real life. But anyway, like I said, all this interesting stuff happens, and there's the side plot with Alex, who is the big bully, and then the girl, and they sort of have a reconciliation at the end. I don't know. There isn't. Throughout the second book, there isn't any romance yet. I'm guessing in the third book there probably will be, but that's fine because it was sort of a slow build and it's done well. He doesn't just sort of toss them together for no reason. But like I said, I don't like that the main character's a necromancer. Necromancers are so friggin' overdone in lit RPGs. I understand that that's an easy way for the main character to gain a lot of levels quickly and gain power quickly, and in lit RPGs that needs to happen a lot to be able to keep the main character and the plot synced up, but I don't like necromancers. It's so flipping overdone in every lit RPG ever, but that's fine. But like I said, he does it well in this, in that the main character uses his zombies in intelligent ways and sets all these interesting traps and uses all these interesting abilities. And like I said, the class is super broken, but it's done in at least an imaginative way that makes it sort of better. And like I said, you get a lot of that in these books. You get the typical sort of tropes, but they're done in interesting sorts of ways, and I think overall that makes what would normally be not a terribly, if you were to lay out the plot of the books in, just layman's terms to someone, well, bullied main character, he gets into the game, becomes an evil overlord necromancer, and starts bashing on all of the people who have screwed him over in life, like, that would be pretty much every freaking book ever in the lit RPG world, pretty much all of them. But if you go, 1 layer deeper, 2 layers deeper, 3 layers deeper, then you start getting interesting stories and interesting characters and interesting things. And like I said, and that's a lot of what this book has going for it. It does the typical lit RPG tropes, but it does them in interesting ways. And I think that's what makes these books, if not, super awesome books, at least good ones. And like I said, and I like to give all of the lit RPG authors a pat on the back, especially the non-professional ones, because, I don't know, as a non-professional lit RPG author myself, I understand the pain. So, like I said, I like to give these guys a pat on the back. I'm going to give this book a 7 with a wiggle towards 8. Obviously, it's not enough to give it an 8, but like I said, it's a hard 7, and I think for a lot of people it could definitely be an 8. But like I said, it does so many of the tropey things that I can't justify giving it a higher rating. But like I said, it does them in interesting and new ways, and especially as you got to the second book, all the pieces of the world start fitting together more nicely. And like I said, especially through book 2, it gets that sort of certain something boost that makes the story really interesting and come to life. So, again, Awaken Online, Travis Bagwell. I've read through book 2, and like I said, it's a recent acquisition. I want to say it just came out this month, but there you go. Awaken Online, Travis Bagwell. Cover to credits rating is 7 out of 10. Now, if you want me to read more books, I'm reading a ton of books all the time. Online, Chinese novels, Korean novels, everything. I've got a few novels backed up in the wuxia genre. Well, they aren't really wuxia because they're Korean or whatever, but I want to do Absolute Choice. I would like to do Everyone Else as a Returnee. I read Soul Station Necromancer. I don't really know if I want to do a review for that, but I've got a ton of them backed up, so I'd like to do some more stuff. I've also been reading a lot of lit RPG lately. I'm reading The Weirdest Noob right now, which is not a great title, but actually a really good book so far that I like. So, like I said, reading a ton of stuff. If you've got stuff you want me to read, pitch it my direction. I read stuff all the time. So if you like our stuff, like, subscribe, I think we have like an Instagram and a Twitter, and Stare does all that stuff. I don't even know. But anyway, that's going to be it for us. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching us. And until next time, thank you for staying until after the credits.